Dear students, welcome. Now we are going to solve one problem from current electricity. Two cells of EMF 1.5 volt and 2 volt having internal resistances 0.2 ohm and 0.3 ohm respectively are connected in parallel. Calculate the EMF and internal resistance of the equivalent cell. First write the given data. The EMF E1 equal to 1.5 volt and E2 equal to 2 volt and internal resistances R1 equal to 0.2 ohm and R2 equal to 0.3 ohm. These are the given data. Now the question is calculate the EMFs of equivalent cell connected in parallel. So we know the formula for the EMF of cells connected in parallel. What is the formula? EMF of equivalent cell. E equal to EMF of equivalent cell E equal to E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. This is the formula for EMF of equivalent cell connected in parallel. Okay, now take LCM of top R1 R2 E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by take LCM of bottom R1 R2 plus R1. Okay, now E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 R2 multiply that divided R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Now this R1 R2 cancel. So the formula becomes E equal to E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Now substitute the values of E1 1.5, R2 0.3 plus E2 value 2 into R1 value 0.2 divided by R1 plus R2 0.2 plus 0.3. So the equal to 1.5 into 0.3. How to calculate 1.5 0.3 15 4 2 digit after point. So 0.45 plus 0.2 into 2, 4, 1 digit after point, so 0.4 divided by 0.5. So 0.85 divided by 0.5. 0.85 divided by 0.5. How to divide that? Equal to 0.85. So multiply by 10. 8.5 divided by 0.5, 5. So 1.5 1.15, remaining 3, 35, so 7, 7535. So EMF equal to, total EMF equal to 1.7 volt. Total EMF equal to E equal to 1.7 is the final answer. The next question, calculate the internal resistance of the equivalent cell. Internal resistance of the, we know the formula, internal resistance of the equivalent cell. R equal to, internal resistance of the equivalent cell R equal to internal resistance of equivalent cell. The cells are in parallel. R equal to 1 by R1, 1 by R equal to 1 by R equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R. You know the formula. Similarly, take LCM. R1 plus into R2 equal R2 plus R1. 1 by R equal to this. So R equal to R. From that R equal to R1 plus R equal to R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2 from this equation. So now substitute the value R1 R2 in this equation. R1 equal to 0.2 into 0.3 divided by R1 plus R2. 0.2 plus 0.3. So how to calculate the R? 0.3, 0.2 into 0.3, 6. So 0.06, 0.06 divided by 0.06 divided by 0.5. 0.06 divided by 0.5. How to divide that? Multiply by 10 both the side. 100 both the side. So 6 divided by 50 equal to, now 0.12 0.12. So the internal resistance, total internal resistance of the equivalent cell R equal to 0.12 ohm. R equal to 0.12 ohm. And total EMF of the equivalent cell E equal to 1.7 volt. This is our final result. R total internal resistance R equal to 0.12 ohm. Okay, thank you.